In passage B, which one of the following is an example of inputs as that term is used in the second paragraph of passage A? Okay, so there are two steps we need to do here. First, we need to go back. We need to make sure we understand what the author of passage A means when he or she says the word input. So let's go back and do that. And then the next step we're going to do is if we have a clear idea of what that is, hopefully it'll connect to information in passage B about what Sol was talking about in his passage. So let's go up and find inputs in passage A and see what we can figure out about it. Okay. Here's the second paragraph. Whether somebody truly deserves something is a very difficult thing for us to determine. Okay, now skim. We're looking for inputs. Okay, here's inputs. Deservedness necessarily focuses on a consideration of inputs. Okay, this was said after this sentence. So let's go back to our big intimidating sentence here that we deciphered when we were doing the passage. For one thing, we are not knowledgeable enough about the person and situation or smart enough, even if we knew what all the critical factors were. So maybe the critical factors here, the background factors, are the inputs. To perform the complicated calculus necessary to understand how the complex interrelationships among the various variables, okay, so we're talking about complex interrelationships among the various variables should affect our conclusions. Deservedness necessarily focuses on a consideration of inputs. Okay, do you deserve to receive a punishment? And cosmic justice keys in here because everything that happened before is an input. Okay. An omniscient being is capable of perfectly considering all these things, but we are not. With all the limitations that we face as mere humans, the best we can reasonably do is judge primarily based on outputs. Okay, so outputs and inputs are set in opposition to each other, or consequences. Okay, so if outputs are consequences, inputs are the things that went into everything that happened before. So let's see what we can find here. Without even looking at passage B, it may be worth going down here and looking for things that make sense. So an example of inputs, okay, we're looking for an example of, background information. Okay, so fair rules, that's not background information. Unjust trial, not background information. Impartial processes, no, that's traditional justice by Sol. That's in it, but that isn't inputs. Traumatic childhood, yes. That's background information that has, inputs into the personality, the character, everything that happened before the crime or a murder, for example. Or innocent people, an input. No, the traumatic childhood clearly is our answer here. It's not a consequence. It's something that would give rise to consequences, according to people who support the idea of cosmic justice. We have our answer.